On September 3, 2010, a fully loaded Boeing 747 cargo jet lifted off from Dubai into a calm evening sky. Less than 20 minutes later, both pilots would be dead. Not because of an explosion, not because of an engine failure, but because of a fire that no system on the aircraft was designed to survive. This is the story of UPS Flight 6 and how a single shipment turned one of the most advanced aircraft ever built into an uncontrollable inferno. UPS Flight 6 was a routine cargo operation. The Boeing 747-400F was operating a scheduled route from Hong Kong to Cologne with a refueling and cargo stop in Dubai. The aircraft itself was only 3 years old, purpose-built as a freighter, not converted from passenger service. At the controls were two pilots. Captain Douglas Lamp, a highly experienced UPS captain with more than 11,000 total flight hours, including over 4,000 hours on the Boeing 747. Flying with him was First Officer Matthew Bell, a former U.S. Marine with 5,500 flight hours, but relatively new to the 747, just 77 hours on type. Bell would be the pilot flying. Lamp would monitor systems and handle communications. Nothing about this flight appeared unusual. The aircraft's main deck was packed with containers loaded in Hong Kong, a global hub for electronics manufacturing. Inside those containers were laptops, electronic devices, and large quantities of lithium-ion batteries. At the time, the aviation industry was still underestimating just how dangerous lithium batteries could be in bulk. If damaged, overheated, or short-circuited, lithium-ion batteries can enter thermal runaway, a chain reaction that creates extreme heat, releases flammable gases, and produces its own oxygen. Once started, these fires cannot be extinguished using conventional aircraft systems. Despite regulations requiring lithium batteries to be declared as hazardous cargo, the shipping paperwork for UPS Flight 6 did not properly identify the quantity or risk of the batteries on board. That single failure would prove fatal. At 6:51 p.m. local time, UPS Flight 6 departed Dubai International Airport and turned northwest over the Arabian Gulf. The climb was normal, and the aircraft leveled off toward its planned cruising altitude. 10 minutes after takeoff, as the aircraft passed 10,000 feet, the first warning appeared. An alert indicated that air conditioning pack number 1 had failed. The captain reset the system, and the warning cleared. With no further indications, the crew continued the flight. Barely 10 minutes after takeoff, as the aircraft entered Bahrain airspace, a loud alarm shattered the silence. Smoke detectors in the forward main deck cargo hold had activated. A lithium battery fire had been burning unnoticed for at least 10 minutes. Captain Lampe immediately took control of the aircraft and declared an emergency. Air traffic control offered Doha as an alternate airport 100 miles away. Lacking approach charts for Doha, the crew chose to return to Dubai. The aircraft executed a 180-degree turn and began an emergency descent. The crew donned oxygen masks and activated the main deck fire suppression mode. The system shut down 2 air conditioning packs to depressurize most of the aircraft. This method relies on reducing oxygen, but lithium fires generate their own. Smoke began entering the cockpit. Pack number 1 failed again, leaving the aircraft without pressurization. With pressurization lost, avionics cooling began circulating smoke directly into the cockpit. In desperation, the captain pulled the smoke evacuation handle. Without pressurization, the maneuver only dragged more smoke inside. Multiple additional smoke detectors activated across the cargo deck. Captain Lamp disconnected the autopilot and discovered the aircraft barely responded. Fire had burned through cargo liners and damaged elevator control cables. With manual control nearly impossible, the autopilot was re-engaged. Moments later, the captain's oxygen supply failed. He left his seat searching for a portable oxygen bottle. He never returned. First Officer Bell was now alone. He could barely see the instruments and relied on ATC for position updates. Communication degraded into relays through other aircraft. Approaching Dubai, Bell attempted to capture the ILS for runway 12 left. Flying too fast and too high, the localizer could not be captured. The aircraft crossed the runway at over 350 knots. Landing gear and speed brakes failed to deploy correctly. Control cables had been too badly damaged by fire. The aircraft entered a steep, descending spiral. Ground proximity warnings filled the cockpit. Bell fought the controls with everything he had. For seconds, the aircraft climbed, then stalled again. UPS Flight 6 crashed just short of Dubai, narrowly missing residential areas. Both pilots were killed. No one on the ground was injured. The investigation found no realistic path to survival once the fire began. Lithium battery cargo fires had overwhelmed every defense. Within a year, a nearly identical lithium battery cargo crash occurred. These accidents forced global changes to lithium battery air transport regulations. Today, lithium batteries are strictly limited, regulated, and monitored in aviation. UPS Flight 6 did not fail because of a single mistake. It failed because fire moves faster than procedures, faster than systems, and faster than human response. And once that line is crossed, even the strongest aircraft cannot survive.
Learn more about aviation safety. Subscribe for more investigation videos.